In this video, we go through the rear bearing hub replacement on a 2002 Lexus ES300. This repair will be the same for the models shown, including Toyota Camrys. The first step is to jack up the vehicle, secure it with chocks and jack stands, and then remove the rear wheel. Use a 14mm socket to remove the top and bottom brake caliper bolts. Use a caliper, hook, or some wire to hold the brake caliper out of the way, being sure not to put strain on the brake line. Next, remove the brake disc. It's usually rusted on, so try giving it a few taps with a rubber mallet. If that doesn't budge, use a 10mm bolt and thread it into one of the holes in the disc. I use the bolt from the brake line bracket. Screw the bolt in until the disc pops loose, then remove the brake disc. These parking brakes are due for replacement. I need to address that in a different video. Just turning the rear bearing sounds loud. Next, remove the ABS sensor plug. Mine broke off, so it's convenient here to show how the plug comes loose. Force a flat-bladed screwdriver to release the plastic tab as shown, then pull the connector apart. We're now ready to remove the hub assembly. Use a 14mm socket. The socket has to be narrow enough to fit through the hole in the flange. Feed the socket into the hole until it's seated on the bolt head. These bolts might be tight. I had to use a cheater bar to remove them. Note there are 4 bolts that need to be removed. The hub assembly and backing plate are often rusted in place. Tap them or use a slide hammer to remove them. The hub assembly is usually seized to the backing plate. To remove it, thread 2 long bolts through the holes in the flange and place a washer and nut on the back side. Hold the nut with a wrench and screw the bolt inward to force the flange away from the backing plate. Once the backing plate pops loose, separate it from the old hub assembly. To prevent this from happening in the future, I put a coat of anti-seize onto the faceplate. We're now ready to install the new hub assembly. I'll put a link to the correct part number in the video description. While holding the hub assembly and backing plate, thread one of the upper bolts through both of them and into the faceplate. I found it worked well to position the bolt through the hub and backing plate first, with the socket on the bolt head. Then fit it all onto the faceplate. It might help to have an extra set of hands for this step. Reinstall all 4 bolts. You may need to move the parking brake shoes around in order to get the bolts started into their holes. Torque these bolts to 59 foot-pounds. Next, attach the ABS speed sensor connector on the back. Clean off the brake shoes and inside the drum with brake cleaner. I applied some anti-seize to the flange to hopefully prevent it from rusting to the disc next time. Now, reinstall the brake disc. Then, slide the brake caliper back into place and line up the mounting holes. Reinstall the two 14mm bolts, top and bottom. I torqued these to 34 foot-pounds. Spray the brake disc with brake cleaner. Then reinstall the wheel. Torque the lug nuts to 76 foot-pounds. For more tutorials like this one, visit practicalmechanic.com. Thanks for watching.